Hello everyone, in our last class we talk about SPDF block elements. So today we're gonna talk about van der Waals forces. So what is actually the van der Waals forces concept? Just use it like an example, don't take it seriously. So here is what is van der Waals forces in a metaphor. Think you are in a elevator group of peoples. There you feel pressure but you are not getting kicked out from these lines from elevator, but you're still feeling the pressure and an invisible pressure, and this is what is van der Waals force. So this pressure you're facing at the elevator is not that high or low, it's just like you're feeling it, such a weak pressure, and this what actually van der Waals force is a weak intermolecular forces that arise due to temporary and permanent dipoles in molecule. So just compare it with the elevator. You are in elevator with group of people gathered together, and you are here for a temporary time, and because of this temporary time and too much people, there is some sort of force are going on. This is actually what is van der Waals forces is a weak intermolecular forces, those electron present in the orbital here, and there in a corner or in anywhere there's some type of conjunction going on, and because of this temporary conjunction there is a dipoles moment happen, and force work into them, actual force which name after van der Waals forces. What is dipole here? What the dipoles, there is a dipole form here. What is actually the dipole? Dipole is the electrical charge within a molecule leading to the formation of positive or negative, like electron moving to the leading to the formation of positive and negative electron consist of positive and negative charge, and those electron positive negative attraction happen. So here there is too much electron happen to be here positive side, so what gonna happen actually? So here negative something come and gonna attract each other, so here is a bond happen, and this is actually the bond van der Waals forces in case of weak bonds. So van der Waals forces has three type of bond: London's dispersion force, dipole interaction, and dipole induced dipole interaction. We're gonna talk about this later in description. Now we're gonna learn about London dispersion force. So why those forces happen, we first gonna learn about it, why it occurs. So it happens because of temporary fluctuation in electron distribution in non-polar molecule, and occur because of asymmetrical distribution. So here we can see these electrons are distributed equally, but here you see that these electrons are in a corner gathered together, just like the example I given about the elevator. So this uneven distribution can create a temporary dipole, and we learn about dipole lastly. So it influence a nearby atom or molecule, making it electron move. Like when it gather all together, what happened? So here all the energy here is never present at the past, but not right now. So here at the middle nucleus, so it gonna attract nearby electrons. So and here and there is a bond gonna happen, which is known as van der Waals force. And in the case of London dispersion force, which is the weakest van der Waals force, so those electrons attract each other weakly, as it is the weakest one. And for example here, noble gases like helium and argon exist as gases at room temperature because of London dispersion force, and methane, CH4 and oxygen interaction happen because of this London dispersion force. And some important highlight here, this trend increase with molecular size. Those more electron number happen, those bonds are gonna increase the number, this dispersion force gonna increase. So here Another important point, larger electron number means more electron cloud which distorted easily. So what is the electron cloud here? When those electrons gather here, they're gonna happen some cloud of like just the cloud in the sky. So when electron gather at a point, that point electron can't present, so which is distorted easily because of this London dispersion force. And lastly, higher boiling point. In this London dispersion force, electron molecules have higher boiling point, just like the iodine has more number. Just we learn here, larger electron number means more electron cloud and which is distorted easily. The larger electron number, there can be larger London dispersion force amount. Here in case of here, iodine has more boiling point than fluorine. And next we're gonna learn about new topic. Now we're gonna talk about dipole-dipole interaction, which is another van der Waals forces points. So here it occurs between polar and non-polar molecule. To understand that point, we need to know about polar and non-polar. What is the polar and non-polar? So polar is asymmetrical due to electronegative force. Electrons are asymmetrically present because of the electronegative force, and in case of non-polar, the electrons are present in a symmetrical position structure due to the little or exactly there is no electronegativity force attraction present. So in case of non-polar, those electrons are present in symmetrical position. So here, what is asymmetrical and symmetrical in case of electron? First, I need to see the asymmetrical. Here, electron gonna be normally electron are all over the places of a nucleus, and but in case of asymmetrical, they gonna go to a corner and they gonna attract a nearby molecules and gonna have a bond, but those bonds are so weak. So here, this positive bond attracts the negative end of the another molecules. Exactly here, think it is a positive molecule and it's a negative molecule. They can attract each other and cause this bond interaction. But in case of the negative, they never gonna create any bond. This bond is stronger than London force but weaker than hydrogen bond, which we talk about in later class. Lastly, today we're gonna learn about dipole-induced dipole interaction. This is the last point of van der Waals force. So it occurs because of the attraction between polar and non-polar molecule. So we learn about what is polar and non-polar and what is the mechanism of these forces interactions. Molecule has partially positive and negative charge due to unequal electron distribution, which we learn in the polar is the asymmetrical molecules electron distribution happened there. So because of this unequal distribution situation, those pushes or pull nearby electron cloud of a non-polar molecule. Though in case of polar, there is no need to be polar or something. Then nearby, if it is a symmetrical situation, they gonna attract, or if it is a asymmetrical situation, they gonna attract each other. And those interaction happen. So what is the characteristic here? Those bonds. What is the characteristic of the dipole-induced dipole interaction? So firstly, weaker than dipole-dipole force, because this is a temporary situation. At some point, those electrons gonna distribute equally when at a point. So this is the first point. And then has strength increase with polarizability. The more polarizability ability they have, the more strength gonna increase more. There has been more dipole-induced dipole interaction happened. So for example, ethanol and iodine, they have the interaction between them because of this bond interaction. So what is the significance of van der Waals forces? The overall points here, these bonds are stronger. As the more stronger the van der Waals forces are, there are going to be higher boiling point and melting point. So and there, secondly, help in protein folding. We have protein in our body, then DNA base the DNA we know all about, DNA base stacking and cell membrane stability. Those cell we have cell which has membrane. Those membrane stability need to create the overall cell. So this is gonna happen because of this van der Waals forces, and those allow absorption of gases and solid surface because it is important in case of catalysis. And this is all for van der Waals forces today. Next we're gonna learn about new topic. Thank you everyone.